So I want to talk about this recent Supreme Court opinion, Hunter v. United States, where Clarence Thomas lashes out saying that he thinks that courts don't work. He has a passage there where he indicates that he has this vague sense that the other justices are basing everything they say on an assumption that courts work. And that basically means that the more formal review you add, the more law you add, the more time you add, the better a decision is going to be. Whereas Thomas has a competing belief that the more that local executive officers making local negotiations under the influence of local politics, and the more it's just opaque and whatever the local lawyers decide, and whatever extent that local voters are even able to know about it, that's going to produce a better result. But the interesting thing is how poorly Thomas is able to articulate his objections. And the reason why is because they're not developed as a product of analysis. They come from a Marxist instinct. Like, he just has this sense that informal social processes are going to produce justice, and that this mechanical, impersonal due process of these layers of review is going to produce just these weird arbitrary decisions. But because he hasn't done any kind of detailed analysis, he's not able to argue against what he senses that the other justices are implying. He just instead sort of throws up these straw men. And it's because Thomas's belief that courts don't work doesn't come from any detailed analysis. It comes from his internal Marxist instincts that just don't like advanced social complex processes like prices and laws and courts. And he just thinks that what local executive officers decide, like in the Soviet Union, is going to produce the superior decision. But he knows that sometimes courts have made bad decisions. And so he just uses that fact to support his emotional need to say that courts don't work and executive officers do work, but without real detailed analysis, just pure instinct of not liking, Rage Against the Machine, combined with this sort of fake scientific validation that sometimes courts are wrong, to then be like some weirdo college professor who's able to say that corporations are evil because they don't, serve touchy-feely, emotional whatever. It's just Marxist garbage that Thomas is not even able to understand what it is that he's trying to say.